All right, welcome back to DSP. Okay, obviously it's been a busy week of news for the Lions, not just on the field, but also off. We'll get to the Brian Branch stuff, but you guys saw this NFL Films thing, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, to set it up a little bit, NFL Films has this show called Turning Point. And the point of that show is to sort of identify the moments in a game where the game changed, or like the critical moment that decided a game. Well, they released this social media clip that was basically just a minute of like Brian Branch hit pieces. And it was not well received by the Lions. I mean, Dan Skipper was very outspoken. I think DJ Reader was not happy. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, I saw the clip. Yeah. It was garbage. I mean,
garbage as in not a big deal, or garbage as in the Lions are right to be frustrated?
The Lions are right to be frustrated because it looked like they had an intent to do without any evidence, right? So they were like, we're going to show how Brian Branch was so frustrated throughout the game that he retaliated.
He snapped.
And then the plays they picked were like a play where he wasn't responsible for anybody, but happened to end up near where the guy scored, and it was garbage. I don't know. It was. I think the Lions being upset about it probably gave it too much weight it didn't deserve.
Wait, this team wanted a chip on its shoulder?
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah, I watched it and I'm just like, well, Brian Branch just have some discipline after the game, and this video doesn't exist. That's that. So that's my take.
Was it out of line?
What'd you say?
Were they out of line?
Yeah, I mean, that's why they apologized and took it down, right? I think it was unprofessional.
Especially Louis Riddick. Like, that's a former safety in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Like,
he wouldn't want that, for himself.
And like you said, it's not like Brian Branch is a cornerback who was getting roasted on all of these highlights.
Yeah. They were terrible examples of somebody doing something wrong.
There were zero context videos of maybe plays that included Brian Branch, but it was difficult.
Hey, this happened, and Brian Branch was way over here. He did poor. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like I think we all agree that Brian Branch probably overreacted and was in the wrong here, and that's why he's suspended.
We know the one play he was pissed off about.
It was the block in the back.
It was the block in the back, and he has every right to be pissed. He shouldn't retaliate the way he did.
If he continues to build this reputation, though, at the end of the season, do you feel comfortable handing him a big contract?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do too.
Bigger.
Yeah.
I was like,
bigger.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Because I was like, the guy's a good player, man. I
kind of breathe that energy.
If you don't give this guy a big contract because of this, after everything you say about what you want this team to be, what you want the identity of this team to be, what the fans want this team to be, you may not like what happened, and we didn't want to lose him for tonight. He shouldn't have got suspended. But that's the kind of guy you want this team to be, right?
I think it's unreasonable to ask a guy to be a hard-hitting safety who puts his body on the line all the time.
And then just turn it off.
Yeah, who doesn't have a little bit of like a mean streak in him or like an attitude. I mean, I feel like with a great safety, this is just something that you sort of live with. Yeah. I mean, you played football, right? Doesn't this kind of come with the territory?
It's tough to turn it off and on.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to war out there, right? Like, you're trying to kill someone.
Yeah.
And when they do something like that, it pisses you off, and sometimes you react poorly, but it's got to be controlled anger. And
that's
that's what Coach
he cares about the outcome of the game, obviously. Like in the aftermath, he saw Juju and he was like, "Nah, not having it." The other thing is even more interesting to me. So there was the trick play to Jared Goff, right? That got called back. And Dan Campbell says, the referee on the field told me that they got a call from the replay crew in New York, and that's why they overturned it. But that's not what the head official told the pool reporter after the game. He said, we had no input from New York. Obviously, this is not a situation where the truth can lie somewhere in the middle. Obviously, they got word from New York or they didn't. What do you think? Where do you stand, Ian?
I think they did get word from New York only because of the timing of how everything played out. Also, I have no idea why Dan Campbell would lie about it. I know why the NFL would lie about it. But I think they just screwed up and they don't want to take responsibility for it. And they're not going to, and what are you going to do about it?
You know the thing where officials will stand and discuss a play and they're all kind of looking up at the replay monitor and then the flag comes out? This is like that, right? Except they got a little bit of help from the league, which was like, man, it's going to be a bad look when everybody's on social media saying like, here's the rule. And here's what the Lions did, and it objectively shows that they broke.
Yeah, but who knew that he needed to stop? Like, I didn't know that. I've never heard that before, ever.
Yeah. And did you see somebody ran that play yesterday?
Yes.
The Vikings.
The Vikings, that's right.
Yeah.
And he made a very exaggerated stop out wide.
It was 100% intentional.
But I actually think that play, that call, I think that's what got into the Lions' head that entire Chiefs game, and I just don't think they ever really mentally recovered from that call. Because I think that's exactly what happened. It was a touchdown touchdown, they huddled, they got the call from New York. Of course, they're going to lie about it. I mean, it just reminds me of the Dan Skipper, monstrosity again, and Taylor Decker not reporting. Of course, they're going to just say, it was on the Lions when they really messed up. It reminds me of that situation so much because they just won't take accountability. But that's 100% what happened. That's
a great point too. And sorry, I know Parker, who's starting to get to Parker on this, but that was a terrible play call. Okay, can I be the one person who says that was a terrible play call? How lucky we got that it bounced off the back of Goff dropped it. It's 4th and 1. You have David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
That's not the play we should be running.
I agree.
So they probably didn't deserve the touchdown anyway.
Well, this is a little. I agree that it brought up shades of the Cowboys 2-point conversion, right, which got called back after all this stuff. But that one, there's at least a little bit of ambiguity because we don't know what they said to the officials or whether they reported as eligible. We know for a fact watching this replay that by the definition of the rule, that is not a legal play, right? So but how many times have we seen something like that happen to the Lions and they don't get the flag 60 seconds later, right? So I get where both sides are a little bit frustrated. Parker, where do you stand on this?
I mean, we can all agree Dan Campbell's never told a lie in his life. So
Obviously.
I think we know who's telling the truth there.
Right.
But yeah, like Ian said, I mean, it's kind of a gadget play you don't need to run. It's 4th and goal on the 1, just running with Montgomery or Gibbs or whatever. I think they try to get a little too tricky sometimes, and typically it works. But yeah, I think we got lucky there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know that rule existed, to be honest.
I know that to the gallery over here, the Lions could never be villains. But do you guys think with the Brian Branch thing, he got thrown out of a game last year and then flipped off fans on the way out. Kirby Joseph is known as a hard hitter. The Lions sort of have a reputation for blowing out teams, running up the score. Do you think these lovable underdog Lions are starting to develop more of a villain reputation?
I think so. I mean, I don't think we're underdogs anymore. I think everyone's out to get us, hence why the Chiefs came to play last week. They know we're for real. But no, I think so a little bit. I think that's the brand that we want to take, honestly. It just needs to be controlled. You can't be getting personal fouls and doing stupid things. But yeah, we definitely. Yeah.
When I think about the past 2 years, part of me is like, yeah, they're becoming villains. But then I remember the rest of my life, and I'm just like, no.
I think, why wouldn't you want to be the villain in this situation? What would you rather be other than the villain? The villain means everybody hates you because you're good, right? And so why wouldn't you want to be
That would be a lot more fun if we were the villain with a few more Super Bowls. But once we get there, then
we'll start with
one.
We'll
get there.
Yeah, well, high stakes, national TV. I'm sure nothing controversial is going to happen tonight. There's no way, right?
Except for 2 fans that ran on the field to tackle somebody.
Those guys look familiar. I saw them on DSP today. Parker, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk a little Michigan State.